We've got an intro now.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live and people are watching. So I hope you liked our cool little intro.
Yeah, Chris has been playing with that all day, so I'm really glad he got to share that with you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So welcome to Trainer Tuesday. Today, I, Renee, the business coordinator, will be interviewing Chris. Everyone knows Chris. I hope you all know Chris that are on this page. So he's a business owner. He started PK9, and obviously he is pretty much all of our coach that works for him. We've all sort of trained under him. Can you see how many people we have on? Because I cannot.
So we've got 19 people. Just wait for 1 second. I'm looking at my phone and it doesn't seem to be working. It's working. Sorry. Okay. Apparently it's working. I've been told.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that.
Must be my phone.
Beautiful. So I just want to take a quick second to say that everyone on my Instagram poll voted that I should roast you.
Nice.
2 people said that I shouldn't out of like 30 something.
Who were those 2 people?
Marley's friend Hannah that came to the Rules of Engagement seminar.
Yeah.
And like another account from the States that I chat to a little bit.
All right. They sound like good people.
They do. I'm very surprised, actually. It was pretty unanimous at 100% roast him, but I won't. I'll take it easy on you tonight. I think that's nice.
So how many people said yes?
Like 30 something.
No, that's no good.
That's all right. I'll be kind to you. All righty. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready to get started. So I'm still looking at my phone and shit like that, but it's all good. Perfect. So I'm still in that like mindset of having to do work. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope you've got a scotch next to you.
I do.
Good.
The Callum tonight. I finally made some money doing online training, so I was able to buy a decent scotch. I've been drinking bad scotch for the last, I don't know, about a month now. So I finally got some decent scotch again.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're back on the normal scotch. Perfect. So I'm going to get started with my first question. I'll make it easy for you. What is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Oh. Favorite food would have to be. Are we talking about like breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Doesn't matter. What's your favorite food?
Probably my mum making breakfast, which is tortos, like a Spanish.
I've no idea.
It's like a how can I explain? It's like a fried pastry, and you have it with like coco de leche, which is chocolate milk.
Yum. Okay.
So for me, that would have to be one of the favorites.
Sounds good. All right. Is there a food that I couldn't pay you enough money to eat?
Yeah, I fucking hate fish.
Yeah, me too. And Dom and his family eat a lot of it, but I can't.
Yeah, it's happening with my family as well, because obviously my mum's Spanish, you know what I mean? So that whole side of them's into seafood and everything else.
Yeah. And
I saw as a kid, like I fucking went absolutely ballistic. They told me it was chicken fingers when it was fish. I knew the difference, and like I just all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I feel you on that. All right, cool, good to know. And what is your spirit vegetable?
Pumpkin.
Why is it a pumpkin?
Because I'm starting to look like one.
Lockdown's doing some things to you.
Yeah.
All righty, cool. What are your lockdown goals, if you have any?
Lockdown goals. So at the moment, probably my biggest thing is getting started on PK9 online and really trying to build that. So getting a lot of content up there for that. So I'm trying to do videos every single day. And honestly, doing videos and being behind a computer is it's hard work.
Yeah.
Out there training dogs, being on the road is it's easy in comparison to trying to do videos, build websites and all that type of shit. It's pretty frustrating. Other lockdown goal is getting up and being able to go for a walk every day.
Yeah.
Trying to meditate more.
Okay, that's good.
Another lockdown goal. And what else is there? Yeah, trying to be mindful, I'd say, is probably a good thing.
Stay a little bit sane in some crazy times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good goals. Hang on, let me get my little list up. So we'll start with, how'd you start PK9 and or why?
Okay, twerking. Yeah. So I was about to say, PK9, how did I start it and why? So I started PK9 going back 10 years ago now. Yeah, big 10 years now. So I still remember I got started because I got a dog and literally got for bug. Went from there. I went to a few other dog training schools, and I won't name names or anything like that, but none of them could really help me. And to be honest with you, Coda's not a difficult dog by any means, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were like, they couldn't get him to lie down and stuff like that. I was like, fuck, there must be something more to it. So I got for bug. I started like, back in those days, it wasn't Facebook or stuff like that. It was lots of YouTube, and Learbird was probably like the real main source of learning back then. So I started watching as much as I could. Michelle, she bought me a Caesar Milan DVD box set. DVD. She bought me the box set, so I was fucking hooked on a dog whisperer. And that really, I got to admit, Caesar Milan sparked my interest. So I started off, just training a friend's dog, friends of a friend's dog, and then the business grew organically from there.
Yeah.
But why I started it was simply due to the fact I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to, if there's something that you enjoy, you should do more of it. And then probably going back 6 years ago, because I was working at Telstra, I then went full time. So I took the leap of faith and went full time with it. And so I started off.
Doing both for a while then. You were doing both for a while then.
Say it again.
When I talk, it's crazy. So you were doing both. So you're working at Telstra, like a little bit corporate, training dogs as well in your spare time.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like 7 days, 7 nights. So I'd go to Telstra, and to be honest with you, towards the end, I didn't fucking do too much work at Telstra. They were paying me to run my own business. It was pretty awesome. Every single lunch break, I'd be going out, doing all my phone calls, doing my bookings, going out in the evening, seeing clients, running classes on Sundays, puppy schools at vet clinics, had all that going on. I started, our group classes, me and Geraldine. And I still remember the fucking first Sunday we had one client. It was hard.
Well, look at the business now. So,
Miguel, how you doing, man?
Alrighty. The question you've wanted to answer since we started these lives, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A fucking gangster.
I haven't waited 4 weeks to hear you say that, please.
Yeah.
Your answer?
No, I want to be in the mafia. Like, I used to watch like too much of like Goodfellas and stuff like that when I was a kid. My dad would show me that stuff, and so for me, that was like what I wanted life to be. I was like, if I could be a mobster, life would be absolutely set.
Wow. Okay, that's not what I expected you to say, but I'm glad to know. Yeah, that explains.
Then I wanted to be in the SAS.
Okay. Why?
Because I read the book Who Dares Wins, and that was it sparked me.
All right. You're such a strange human. Okay.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, Holly gets it as far back as
Holly probably did as well, to be honest.
Yeah, like I wanted to be like Thug Life and everything. No, I didn't start. It wasn't that type of gangster. I'm talking like, like a classic old school.
Like a classic gangster.
Yeah, like Goodfellas, like the Don.
Yeah, all right. Okay, fair enough.
And then I wanted to be a chef, and I became a chef, and that was shit.
Yeah, actually, I studied that in high school. I did like a hospitality course, and I hated it. Hated it. And it took me a long time to find my zest for cooking again. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, cool. Top 5 favorite breeds.
So first, we have to show this. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey. Hello.
It's been a long time. Zolt, how you doing? We've got people watching now.
We
so
do.
I'm going to zone in and out from your questions and people popping shit up. My top 5 favorite breeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first and foremost, can I put breeds as a collective, or does it have to be individuals?
Collective is fine.
Bulldogs. No. Actually, no. Fuck that. Because I hate French bulldogs But so Aussie bulldogs, English bulldogs, I absolutely love. Whether I would own one or not, I don't know. But like little Mimo, like I love Mimo.
She's very cute.
Yeah. Next on the list would be Rotties. If we're talking about like an overall dog, Rotties for me definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I love. Then from there, there's not too many other dogs I really like.
Okay, fair enough.
But top 5, like, so yeah, Bulldogs, Rotties. Like, I love Coda as a Ridgeback. Ridgebacks I have a little bit of a soft spot for, but I see so many of them.
Yeah.
Very nervy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen the same, to be honest.
Yeah. Shepherds I like. And honestly, Malamars I've worked with recently as well. I like quite a few of them.
Quite nice. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a shit list of breeds that you won't own? Frenchies?
Of course. Yeah, so Frenchies
Dachshund.
are here, Dachshunds, Shiba Inus,
Yeah.
Huskies. For me, I don't know why anyone owned a Husky in Australia.
Oh, I grew up with a husky, and he was mean. He was genuinely a mean dog.
Basenjis.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Not your cup of
With
tea.
the previous chef training, what's the best dish you can make nowadays? I can cook a mean 2-minute noodles, bro. Like I make mee goreng like fuck you never believe. Yeah, mee goreng is my specialty.
Oh dear. Okay. Good to know all that training didn't go to waste.
No.
All right. So a bit of a deep question. What are you most proud about the business that you've built? Like what's good?
So I think in terms of a business, I'm most proud of it now. Even though we're in lockdown, we've still got such a good following. Our clients have really stayed loyal and committed. Like just looking at all the questions and people watching in now, you know what I mean? Like there's a community type feeling there. So we've got such a great client base. I guess, yeah, I'm proud of just where the business is, to be honest with you. There's nothing in particular. So being able to build up a good culture for me is really important. Good clients, good staff as well. Like for me, I look at it holistically. I'm just proud of a business where it is. So it's not one particular thing. Like, you know, the day I became Australia's best dog trainer made me proud.
Yeah. Okay. And the biggest challenge you've had to overcome, I guess, as a trainer or with the business, either or?
And everyone watching that, I don't think I'm Australia's best dog trainer. I was just taking the piss. So ask that question again. So
I guess, no, I'll shuffle. I have another one. What's your least favorite part about running like a fairly successful business?
Running a business is still running a business. I don't think it matters if it's dog grooming, dog training, you know what I mean, a fitness business, whatever it might be. There's still bills to pay, you know, even though you're going through shit times now, so you still got to run that. People still look up to you. So even if you're going through your own personal shit, you still have to be accountable and reliable and everything else, which can be tricky. So I think, those, and dealing with clients as well that have unrealistic expectations would probably be one of the trickiest parts to it all. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I think that's a fair answer. And the biggest challenge you've had to overcome as a trainer?
Ooh.
With your own dogs, with clients, as like whatever.
Yeah. Biggest challenge, I guess I had to let go of my own expectations when it came to clients. Because I know initially I tried to put my beliefs and expectations onto what clients should be doing with their dogs, you know what I mean? Because I believe that, you know, dogs should be a certain way, and I was trying to put that onto people. So it took me a while to let go of that. So since I've let go of my expectations, what I expect of dogs, and just really, I guess, honored clients and what they need, that made a big difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fairly common with most trainers. Like what we expect from our dogs might be a little bit more drastic or dramatic than what clients want. They just want a happy, healthy pet to coexist with them. So that's a good point.
What Miguel said here, rumor has that the old Chris could make it. Rumor has it the old Chris could slam revolving doors.
Pet peeves about the dog training industry.
Circle jerking.
I knew you were going to say that.
Circle jerking. So pet peeves about the dog training industry. It's hard because obviously I'm extremely biased when I say these types of things as well. But yeah, for me, circle jerking would probably have to be one of the biggest things, and clicks, so to speak, and people acknowledging work outside of their circles. Yeah. Like for me, if someone does nice training, fuck, I'll sit there and say, hey, you do nice training. Like I'm not going to name names, but obviously there's a trainer who I think's a bit of a tosser, but if they put up nice work, I'll openly sit there and comment, like saying, hey man, that shit's good, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think people have got way too much pride to actually sit there and acknowledge the work that others do if they're not part of the circle. And I think people are a little bit close-minded as well. Okay. So, And yeah, because when I look at it is like there should be more of this going on, more people connecting, talking, I guess with people outside of their circles as well, for me is really important.
Yeah.
And like I know for me, like some of the best trainers in Australia, like a local limit, like I think Steve Courtney in Australia he's up there. But seeing he's not part of a core clique, he doesn't really get any recognition. He's managed to do amazing in his own right, and he doesn't need them. But I think it's sad that the main voices in the dog training industry in Australia don't give people like that recognition.
Yeah.
Same way, like I think Michael Burling as well is another amazing trainer. Like obviously he's really good with pet dogs. You know what I mean? For me, the work he does is absolutely smashing, but no one really gives him the accolades that he deserves as well. So stuff like that shifts me a little bit.
It's very cliquey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
Amy asked, you can answer this.
I'll leave you to explain that one.
My good buddy Patrick Ryan, how you doing, man? You'd be pleased to know I'm drinking scotch just for you. Did you ever meet Patrick and Marco? Sam and Patrick?
I don't think so.
Nah? Oh, you got to meet Sam and Patrick.
Okay. Or maybe did they come to the PK9 Christmas party the first year I was there? No?
Possibly.
I think you did, yeah.
Have a pool party or?
Yeah.
No, they didn't come. They bailed out.
Okay.
Yeah. What is circle jerking? So circle jerking is when I don't even know how you describe it. I'm gonna Google what the definition of circle jerking is.
I'm keen to hear this one. You shouldn't have opened that
Urban Dictionary.
Wait, Miguel's already got you. He's already explained it. Don't worry.
Noun, circle jerk, plural, circle jerks. A group of males masturbating together with or without interpersonal contact. Vulgar.
Okay. Yeah.
Any group or group activity indulging in mutual gratification.
Oh, dear. Cass said just don't Google image search it.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah, thanks for the tip, Cass. Good to know what you've been up to in your spare time over there. Your greatest dog training related accomplishments. So whether it be with the business or your own dogs, anything like that. Do you have any standout moments?
Like accomplishments. I think end of the day, just building my business to where it is will probably be like my biggest accomplishment. So like I said before, I'm extremely proud of the business, for staff, for culture, all those types of things. Cedric, how you doing?
Cedric's comment.
About time you joined up. I was on Urban Dictionary. Building a business to where it is, and I guess it's hard. It sounds like a wanky type thing, but obviously what I've accomplished with Ninja, I'm extremely proud of the work that me and Ninja have done, and I guess it's sad that that's almost over because she's going to have to be retiring soon. Like this year was meant to be her last year in competition. So I'm incredibly proud of the work that I've done with Ninja, but also I guess Team ESDG as a group, so to speak. Like I'm proud of that. Yeah.
It's really cool to see all the young dogs coming up through there at the moment as well.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of
like she's smashing it as well.
Incredible.
Sorry?
Did you watch his videos tonight?
Oh, I watched them quickly. Were they good?
Yeah, they were good. I liked them. Cool. Let me check my questions, and we might be done.
So if those questions, you can post those in the comment section as well.
Please do. My last question for you is people or trainers that inspire you. Who do you look at or look to when you want a bit of inspiration?
The mirror.
I hope there's some like explanation, deep and meaningful explanation to that.
No, it's not. It's very vague. No, so trainers, like I said before, so I mentioned some names. So like for me, Steve Courtney does really nice work. We're talking about Aussie-based trainers. Michael Burling as well. I guess in terms of international trainers, like up on a pedal, like for me, the coolest trainer fucking out there, most people probably won't even know who he is Marek Cherney. So and Martin Persher. So watching their work, for me, them two were up top on a pedestal, so to speak. Ivan Balabanov He's he's the most accomplished trainer there is. There's no other trainer that has done as much as what he has done.
Okay.
So
in what regard?
Every regard, like that dude's done it all. Like he's been like the head behaviorist at the what's their RSPCA? Is it SPCA or something like that in America?
No idea. Something like that.
Yeah, trying to remember what it is. So he was the head trainer of that. So like the American version of the RSPCA, he was the head of that. Like he's been a multiple-time world champion.
Yeah.
So he's done it all.
Yeah, cool.
Dick Stahl, when it comes to tracking, like that dude is an absolute genius.
Yeah. I like online content.
Yeah, and then obviously I'm 50-50 on Bart Bellin, but the dude's still a genius. You know what I mean? Whether you agree with everything he does and stuff like that, he's got some pretty. I think he's reinvented things a little bit, so to speak, and made people look at things differently. The whole cult-like following, I'm a little bit on, but.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's still made a successful business out of what he's offering. So you can look at him, like you might not agree with what he's doing or how he does it, but at the end of the day, he's made a success from it. So good on him as such. Yeah.
Perfect. So those are all my questions.
Perfect. That's it. That's done. Now we can go to viewer questions.
I thought it was going to be harder than that.
Yeah, I thought I'd take it easy on you. I'm feeling nice today.
Yeah, let's have a look here. Favorite dance moves? So it would have to be the electric boogaloo.
What's that? I've never heard of
it. Did you ever listen to Guido Hatzis?
No.
You never listened to Guido Hatzis?
Okay, all right.
For those watching at home, please tell me you guys know who Guido Hatzis is. If you don't know who Guido Hatzis is, you might as well unfollow me because, like, that's it. We just can't be friends anymore. I skipped school. My first ever time skipping school was to go see Guido Hatzis.
Sounds like a valid reason if you're that passionate, Chris.
Yeah. After you finish this, you and me, I'm going to share screen and we're going to listen to some Guido Hatzis prank phone call. I think I can actually share my screen as we're doing this now. So, but with Electric Boogaloo comes from a Guido Hatzis prank phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, but apart from that, it's working.
Julie, please don't make him sing. Please don't.
Sing. Guido Hatzis doesn't have a song. Was she talking
all right. Okay.
Facebook page.
Let's Chris, stay on track, buddy.
It's still early. Phil, how you doing, buddy? Master Phil.
You gonna answer that, Chris? It's your Q&A. They're asking you.
You should have asked how I got started in IGP, IPO. I got started with Mr. Phil.
Yeah.
You can't see people that are watching, can you? You don't see that part of people.
I cannot.
I can see it on my phone that people are joining in.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay. If either Chris or Renee, thoughts on alpha training? I prefer beta training. You don't have to.
I get it.
You're a bit slow on that one.
I was. It took me a minute.
Yeah. I was going to say, so, look, to be honest with you, I don't agree with the system. I think it's pretty weird and out there. They got some, like, spinning dogs around in circles and using different tonalities and everything else. But I've seen some dogs that have been messed up and came out of the system and actually been okay. It wasn't a terrible joke. It was a fucking awesome joke.
It was. I'm sitting here reading these comments of them picking on you laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've also seen a lot of dogs get really shut down by the that training system as well. So
yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Right, this one's a good one. What's the best piece of advice you've received related to training dogs? Yeah, train the dog in front of you.
I think it's mine too, actually.
Yeah, probably the best piece of advice. Train the dog in front of you. Have an open mind, and it wasn't horrendous. Never stop learning.
Yeah.
I went through a stage where I thought I knew everything, and that was a pretty dangerous stage. So I'm glad I'm out of that stage now. Yeah.
At what point did you reach that in your training career?
So probably about 4 years into it, I got to the stage where I thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
And then probably took me about 2 years to get out of it. You there? Hello?
You there? Whoa.
Yeah. It's frozen a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got
sorry,
you.
my totally just that all blacked out, but that's cool. Was there like a point or a moment in your career where you were like, whoa, I actually don't know everything?
Yeah, so when I first started, I had that. And then I went for that stage where I was a little bit closed-minded. And then somehow I saw the light again. And I was reborn. I was reinvigorated, reincarnated.
Yeah. I literally missed all that, so I'm going to have to go back and watch your answer later.
Yeah, so any areas of dog training world. Oh, wait, Renee's gone. Who knows what's happened to her? Hopefully she comes back in a tick. But I'll answer this question here. Any areas of a dog training world you haven't explored that you would like to, i.e. dogs for film and TV, training service dogs, anything else? Where'd you go, buddy?
My internet, I'm telling you, I've had a bad time with my internet recently.
Yeah, so I've done dogs for film and TV. I've done a little bit of service dog work. So I've done those things. But areas of dog training that for me fascinate me and I haven't done much on is I really like herding, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Herding is something I really like, but it's something I haven't done too much on. And also medical alert dogs.
Mm.
So
yeah, there are certain illnesses that I'd really like to know. Like I understand sort of I can put together the basics of some of the indications that they do and things, but like, what is it? What's that thing? Not SBT, the other one. You know what I'm saying? Remember we had that inquiry a while ago and that lady was trying to teach the dog to protect her. What's it?
Where she had, I know what it is.
POTS.
POTS, yeah. POTS.
Yeah, yeah.
POTS,
so like,
postural attack off cat, no, not CAS. Can you please put in what POTS means? Tachycardia, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Yeah. Like how do you teach a dog to indicate that? Like that's craziness.
Yeah. So I got no idea. And I think the hardest part as well is it's such an unregulated industry. So who do you actually go to learn those types of things? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've done quite a bit of work with some service dogs and it's hard. It's a bit of a minefield out there.
Yeah. And I think part of it as well is a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get this dog and raise it to be a service dog for my child. But from what I've seen, there's not many people thinking about the suitability of the breed and long-term how different that dog's lifestyle is actually going to look from a normal pet dog or a normal, like you have to raise it almost like a working dog a little bit for it to be successful from what I've seen anyway.
See, I knew I got it right eventually.
Yeah. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think for biggest people, they fuck up that, like, no disrespect for people because they only know what they know at the time.
Yeah.
But, I went to the pound, I rescued ABC mutt and I wanted to be a service dog. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it because a lot of the times these people, they got like mental health issues is the easiest way to put it. A lot of the times people wanting service dogs. So you don't want to be an arsehole to them as well, but you kind of got to be honest and say, hey, like this just ain't going to work.
Yeah. And if it's not fair on the dog as well, I guess it's our job to advocate for that, and it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah. Oh, here I can quote a bit. What is your proudest moment and achievement with Ninja? Being the first person in Australia to achieve an FHV with 98 points.
Has anyone else gotten one? Or
no. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I think I'm still the only person in Australia.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah, let's have a look, actually. So show us one of your songs. I think I can do something. Bear with me. Let's see what I can do.
Stop.
Hold on.
You guys brought this upon yourselves. I take no responsibility for what's happening.
The only creeper, eh? I know the world's going through a crazy time right now, homie, with this quarantine life. Like the walls are coming in on you.
Where are we?
Friend of mine, so much.
Not really.
But I think you have a friend.
I think I can. Bear with me. I think I can do this. I think I can screen share. It's easiest with two monitors. Screen sharing works best in a good computer. All right, done. Some screens let you share audio. I think it's happening. Is it happening? Yeah, it's on there. Let's see what happens now.
It's like screen.
I'm sorry.
I was doing an electric boogaloo.
We'll fast forward.
Yep. So you're in front of the mirror. You stay doing.
I'm so confused.
Can you hear it?
I'm terribly sorry.
No, it's all right. Don't worry, right? I'm a very tall, very good-looking man.
That's excellent news.
Okay, mate?
Yep.
All right, mate, and women, when they work on my body, right, afterwards they fall into a trance-like state.
Is it a comedian?
Yeah, so we'll leave it there. But
Dear
other people, surely, did you hear? So, Michelle, people are asking where you are. They want to say hi. Nah, she's having a shower. All right, where are we? I can see we've got more questions here. So I was just really glad I got to share Guido Hatzis with people. Could you hear it?
Yeah,
could you hear Guido Hatzis?
we could hear Guido. We don't need to hear Guido anymore, though, so let's just scroll on.
All right, let's have a look here. Perfect. Do you think there is an age when dogs are too old to learn new behaviors, i.e. desensitization? No, it just gets harder as they get older because those things become a little bit more ingrained. So it's not too late or anything like that. It just gets a little bit trickier. Oh, my knee. I got to stop. I've got a bad habit of sitting on my left knee on this chair.
Yeah.
It's absolutely killing.
Fair enough.
Let's have a look here. What did Miguel say? Only people that were teens in the early 2000s will know Guido, man. And Guido was an absolute champion. I saw him at Sanity in Box Hill.
I remember Sanity when that was a thing.
Yeah, he used to be back there in the days. How do you find managing a 3-dog household? To be honest with you, it's a pain in the ass. Like the other day, like all 3 dogs were in this study here, and I thought something bad was going to happen. Like they're all just too close, too much tension. So it's managing a 2-dog household. It's really easy. Managing a 3-dog household, it's hard work. So crates, beds, inside, outside. So Michelle said it's easy when I'm not at home.
Well, apparently Ninja's not as crazy when you're not at home, so I believe her.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. And actually, it was also all good until fucking Coda cut open his tail and there's blood all over the wall when you come home because he's happy to see you, and like there's blood going over the glass, over Michelle's new books, over the white wall, and he's just like, you're like, Coda, stop, and he's like, eh.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me,
hold on, my mum's watching. Mum, Katarina doesn't know who Guido Hatzis is. You've got to tell her who Guido is. Yeah, that's it.
No. Oh, dear. I don't reckon going from 2 to 3 was any harder than 1 to 2.
But maybe because you're managing 2 Amstaff bitches before, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
You would have had shit pretty locked down beforehand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess it's hard in the aspect that Daff is like a little crackhead running around just neurotically, but it's not any harder than managing 2 dogs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I think it's just what you came from that makes it like that.
Yeah, it was already all very structured and yeah.
I'm going to have a question here. Yeah, there's actually been quite a few. There's still dogs to this day where I sit there and I scratch my head. I'm like, fuck. Like Alki is one of those dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, absolutely bust their ass. They've done so much work with a dog, and it's like, oh, like I have to be missing something here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruce with Doberman as well. You know, Katie with Bruce.
Oh, yeah, okay, with Katie. Yeah.
Like she busts her ass as well. You know what I mean? So some dogs like that, it's like, well, this all should be working, but for some reason it's not working. Shit like that makes me doubt myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
There's one that stands out to me. It was a little it was labeled as a Staffy mix, but without a doubt in my mind, 110%, it was a little pitty, or at least a pit mix. And it was rehomed from the Lost Dogs home with no behavioural issues. And you've seen videos of this dog, Chris. This thing was just ridiculously aggressive, like predatory aggression to other dogs, other animals, to the point where it wasn't even a visual stimulus. If it heard keys jingling or something jiggling that replicated a dog's collar and a leash, this thing just started going through the roof. So that's probably the hardest dog I've ever had to deal with. And unfortunately, they adopted a dog that had no behavioral issues and had no concerns. So they live in a super busy area. They want to take the dog to the cafe they own. They want to take it to the park. They want to run with it. And it's a big, I guess, adjustment for them and the dog to have to change the lifestyle and the expectations they had. That dog was really hard.
I feel for people. It's like they have this picture. They're going to adopt a dog, do the right thing. They have this picture of what it's going to be, and then it's nothing like that.
And hand on my heart, in the house, this dog is the sweetest, most well-behaved, perfect little ball of love. And you take it outside, walking nicely on the leash. Its obedience is actually quite good. They did good work on that, but the aggression was just nothing like I've ever seen before.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Well, age, no. I'm still waiting for Ninja to calm down. She's 8.
Yeah.
So
age won't help, but training will.
Yeah, not really. What are some key points of advice to someone who's wanting to get a working line dog for the first time? I think you've probably got better advice than me on that.
Nothing is safe. That's my advice. No. Look, to be honest, I think just having routine and structure for the dogs are most important. When I first got Daff, he was nuts, and I think purely for the fact he was just trying it on me. So there's a lot of crate time, a lot of time in his pen, making it very black and white as in what was acceptable and what wasn't. Because if I didn't make it black and white on what was right and what was wrong, he would just take me for a ride. So there was that. No matter what you see on Instagram, I promise you, I was having this conversation with Cass the other day. Your dog is not going to sleep on a bed all day and relax. There's a good chance they're going to be nuts. Exactly. Don't do it. It is a big lifestyle change, and they're not like your regular pet dog. Like right now, he's in his crate. The other 2 girls are just hanging out with us. He's not the kind of dog that can hang out in the house like that. So it's very different. Where is she? Hi, Ninkies.
Ninjas, come. Yes, Ninja.
There you go. That's what it's like.
So she's always ready to do something. Oh, shit. What have I done to the camera? Hold on.
Same thing with Gaddafi. Like if we sit on the couch, he'll chill out. He'll chew on his little goat horn or whatever. But as soon as I move, he's coming with me. Like, oh, we're doing something. Let's go. Let's do it. That's it. Cool. Thank you.
What's some key points of advice someone who wants? Yeah. So first, I think having a good mentor would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
I think a mentor is a good place to start. And don't buy into circle jerking.
Yeah.
Again, you know what I mean? Lots of people, like, I think there's certain kennels that get far more recognition than what they should, that produce mediocre dogs, but for some reason everyone talks about them. Like, this goes back to this whole circle jerking thing.
And I guess for me, I made an Instagram post about this a while ago, and it went absolutely viral.
I'm using my booster cushion.
If people are claiming to work breeding dogs, but there's not a single dog in the pedigree or from that kennel that goes to a working home, they're not breeding working line dogs. They're breeding watered down dogs they're claiming to be working line. Like there's a lot of breeders now that my eyes are open and I look at what's out there. There are a lot of breeders breeding working line dogs with dogs that are not suitable for sporting or anything like that. Like so find a reputable breeder if you're wanting to do dog sport or something like that. Find a breeder that's got dogs that title in that sport and that know what they're actually doing and talk about.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're being too nice.
I know, Narelle. I'm not feeling very sassy today. I'm feeling nice and empathetic.
I recently discovered Swiss Shepherds as per about the discussion, and acquaintance got one for a service dog and it didn't work out. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Any experience with them? How do they differ from a GSD? It's like black and white. You know what I mean? So Swiss Shepherds are white and German Shepherds are black. It's
another dad joke, Chris.
No, but like it's seriously black and white, the difference.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
So I've never met one that is stable. Not once.
No, neither have I actually.
Actually, probably the best one. Remember how we had those clients? They were both the ex-army people, but now they're both paramedics. You remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember
that one was okay, but as it got older, it still started to get a little bit of, like, I'd say reactivity, so to speak. So I've never met one that I would consider a stable dog. Yeah.
I was having a conversation with Ebony Amali about this years ago, actually, or maybe last year. It was a bit of an exaggeration. In Europe, they tend to be a lot more sound and stable. But in Australia, I don't know if the gene pool's just not big enough. They tend to have, basically they're not as stable. They're a little bit more flighty and things like that.
So apparently my mum and Stephen have a Swiss Shepherd.
You not know that?
I didn't know. I thought it was like my brother-in-law's dog. I didn't know it was my mum's dog.
Okay.
It's news to me. Let's go up here. Look here. Yeah, so actually Archer was one of the dogs I forgot to add into the list. Remember how we talked about dogs that were challenging?
Yeah.
He would be on there as well because, like, obviously these two, they busted their ass with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit like that, that's hard. Like, when you see people, they sign up to get a dog, you know, they do all the right things, they train, they bust their ass, and it's like, shit, what more do you have to give, you know what I mean? They've gone down med paths, training paths, you name it, every single path, and stuff like that. A little bit hard. You're like, fuck, they just want the dog to live a normal life.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, in saying that, I remember starting at PK9. When I started, where Archer was to where he is now is hugely different.
Yeah, but how much work have they put in to get that versus, you know what I mean? What would take someone 1 month will take them 3 to 6 months, and it's not because they're bad trainers or bad handlers. They're really good. Yeah.
I guess for me, that's the hardest thing to come to terms with. It's like those clients that are there week in, week out and are quite literally the perfect client you can ask for.
Exactly.
Are the ones that are dealt the worst hand, you know, genetically with their dogs and things like that. So, you know, if you had a dog that had that foundation and was solid, like they'll be unstoppable.
And you get these people that have got these fucking dogs that are unreal and are like, I just wanted to fetch ball. And it's like, no.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like so many people would kill for that. Yeah.
Cedric, you got 3 big ass dogs, man, to make it even more complex.
I would like to know what Cedric's food bill is actually like.
I'm not sure if he still wants to get a Malamar as well.
Yeah, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do it to yourself.
That's it. Alrighty. Oh, this is a good question. How can you tell if a certain behavior is a result of bad training or bad genetics? Because with bad training, you can fix it.
Yeah.
So you can fix it with training. Where if it's a genetic issue, it's genetics.
Yeah.
So grips are generally a part of it as well. Like, so in protection work, grips are always really easy. So you can, what's what I'm looking for? You can make it a little bit better with training, but the grips will always show up in the end of it.
Yeah. I think from like a pet dog perspective, I know speaking from like my situation with Tala, she always had that. Like, she was this 10-week-old puppy that was looking at adult dogs like, I'll mess you up. And that just got worse with age. Like, it became more severe with age. So the behavior was always there. It was just very mild. And I thought it was probably thought it was a little bit funny back then. But yeah, you always see sort of how the behavior pattern has sort of evolved over time.
This is a good question. We should add this onto our list.
Honestly, I'll be Tala. I'll be this dog 100%. Her and me, same soul.
Yeah, what breed would you be?
Yeah, no, I'll be Amstaff and I'll be Tala. Specifically. Not for the lifestyle she lives, but for the personality she has. We're exactly the same.
I reckon I'll be a Roddy.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Have you ever taken all 3 dogs for a walk at the same time? If so, how'd you go with it? Fine.
Yeah.
No. If your dogs know how to walk well, your dogs know how to walk well, so it's not a concern.
Yeah, I can do it. I just choose not to. Like, for me, going out is one-on-one time. It's time for me and specific dog. If I want to walk all 3 of them, I can, but it's not worth it. Like, if we're going for fun.
Yeah. So you're the same as me. Like, I don't do it. Like,
no, like I could, but they don't like it. Like, it's annoying for me, so I just do it one-on-one.
I got no idea what Cass is talking about. I kid.
When you said don't do it about getting them.
Yeah. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Question for an
no. Honestly, no. I think and when I had Mercy as an only dog, she lived the best life, and she still does to this day. She's very spoiled, but I think that I was like, oh, she's going to love having a little sibling. She actually doesn't, and she's the most social dog I've ever met. So like she would very much just have us to herself. So there's a lot to consider, like sharing resources, whether it be like food, toys, humans, time. Like it's a lot of work, and not every dog enjoys it.
Huh.
My dogs will be happier separate, but we make it work. So yeah.
Like I wonder how Coda's feeling now. He's been like the only dog for like 9 years, and now he's got to compete with these two knuckleheads.
Yeah, and like he's super chill, and then Ninja's crazy.
Yeah.
Like very much a personality contrast.
So there you go.
Yeah, honestly, just wait, man. Like Ted's a really good dog to work with for now, so I wouldn't rush into anything.
No, so I like when I spoke to Brie, I said it's like, how would you feel if you came home and your partner had another partner? That's how Ted will feel if you bring home another dog.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good analogy. That's a really good analogy.
I remember there was this fucked up show. Michelle, do you remember that show when those gay guys were talking about how getting another dog is like forcing your dog into arranged marriage? Pardon? Do you remember it? Is that what they said? Like, if you got a dog, you get another dog. That's really wrong because it's arranged marriage and you shouldn't do it. Yeah, it's like forcing him into a relationship they don't want to be in. It was this weird show with this gay guy, and they'd have like marriage ceremonies for their dogs, where their dogs could pick their soulmates and all this type of stuff. So it was a little bit.
What you're watching?
Yeah, it was a bit different.
Yeah.
All right. Kelly Lane, hello, how are you? Caitlin Harris, what is this? Yeah, I can think of one breeder, using that term loosely, in particular, it fits what you guys, I think she was talking, what we was saying before about.
Yeah. Honestly, I can think of half a dozen. And to be honest, when I first said I wanted a working dog, Chris was like, you have to get a Kovacs dog or we're not training together. And I was like, shut up. No one tells me what to do. And I spent 6 months looking at other kennels, and I couldn't go past a Kovacs dog.
Because everyone wants to be a gangster until they get shot.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to be a working dog breeder until it's time to work their dogs.
Yeah, 100%. And like kudos to Ishvan and Crystal that like they're training. They've got puppies coming through. They're training their older dogs. Like one dog sport, one dog is enough for me. So to people that actually work multiple dogs, like I applaud you. It's crazy.
That's that. If you haven't already, make sure you check out PK9 online.
Yeah. No, seriously, guys, like I was watching it the other night to brush up on some of my skills and just basics that I've probably forgotten or don't value enough. And the content on there is ridiculously good. So check it out.
Honestly, doing with content, it's made me think about shit I've forgotten, if that makes sense. Like so many things I take for granted I don't think about. It's made me revisit those subjects. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got
even
that.
The puppy content I rewatched because
If you see a dog has great potential for specific training, however the handler isn't aware of all the training avenues, yeah, you can lead a horse to water. Like I was saying before, that can be a hard part of a job sometimes, where these dogs and these crappy owners get these good dogs, and it makes it a little bit of a challenge. So you try to encourage them as much as you can, but as I said before, you can't put your expectations on them.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. And if I guess for me, part of it is if the if the owner or the handler, whatever you want to call them, really isn't going to enjoy that, there's no point. Like the dog's not going to benefit from it if the owner isn't in it. So, they can just live a happy life together.
Yeah. Daniel with Noodle. Unexpected answer with a 2 dogs question. I never thought about that side of it. Makes sense. So we'll think about getting a golden retriever or a Groodle later. No, keep Noodle as a single dog.
Let me put it this way. I was an only child until I was 7.5 years old. And I hated my brother when he first came along, despised him. For like the first 3 years, I used to actually despise him. So from that perspective, I'm like, yeah, I can see how sharing your parents and your space is not good.
So getting a bit personal here. So I wake up at like 7 and I get out at the moment during lockdown. I get out of bed at 10.
Yeah, same.
I'm trying to change that. That should be one of my lockdown goals. So tomorrow morning I've decided I'm going to get up at 7. I'm going to do Wim Hof breathing and meditate.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the Audi sales.
Yep.
Audi tomorrow.
What are you going to buy at the Aldi sales?
Pardon?
What are you going to buy at the Aldi sales? What is specialized this week?
I've got bed linen tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll check it out.
1,000 word count sheets. How many steps do I do per day? Probably about 15,000 steps. How many do you do?
Me, I haven't been wearing my Garmin, so I would not be able to tell you.
No.
I should wear it tomorrow. It'd probably be like not much.
Before trainers get up, we don't make enough money to get up that early, man.
No chance. Maybe in summer if I want to track my dog before I go do a consult, but
yeah, that's the only for tracking. That's the only time I get up. But that's
get up
restarting another dog and having to get up early for tracking.
Yeah.
I should get up early though. But you got to remember as well, we generally worked like going back to if we weren't in lockdown, I'm generally at work till 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Evening consult is the busiest time. So yeah.
Let's have a look here. My two dogs and other dogs continue to be attacked by this one dog. I think your answer is in your first sentence. What do you think the answer is, Renee? It's in the first sentence.
I wouldn't be taking my dog to that park if that dog was there. To be honest, I wouldn't be taking my dog to the dog park in general. But if that dog's there, I'll be doing a U-turn and going home. Yeah,
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't go to the dog park, and B, secondly, I'd avoid that park like the plague.
Yeah.
And then C, I'd probably call the council.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how far. Yeah, it depends how far you want to take it. But if that dog's a pest, then I would definitely be reporting it before something bad does happen. Honestly, Narelle, I'll be lying if I said I walk my dogs every day. Generally, we do training, we do play, whether it be obedience, nose work, all those kinds of things. Like, to be honest, I walk my dogs maybe twice a week. That's the honest answer.
How do you get a dog to SFE?
Stand for exam.
Thank you. I had no fucking idea what.
I'm sure that's what it means anyway.
Yeah. Once he gets used, that doesn't like strangers touch him. Once he gets used to a person, he is a Chi cross rescue dog. I guess you have to look at a couple of things. So first and foremost, you have to ask yourself an honest question. Does my dog really enjoy doing obedience training for ANKC? I think that's the best place to start. And then the second part is, generally speaking, we do a lot of work on place training. So the dog understands they have to keep their paws on an object and then start doing work on counter conditioning.
Yeah.
So if the dog understands, hey, I can't move from here, I stay on here, good things happen, their paws stay on that one spot, it makes it easy, and then start to change the dog's association.
Yeah.
How many times a day during ISO do you train your dog, spend time playing, etc.? Like I said, I'm pretty lazy. It's funny, I don't walk my dogs too much as well. The old dude, Oda, I try to walk him every single day, and also Stormy now as well. But since I've been doing this PK9 online stuff, every day they've actually been doing something. I'm probably a pretty slack dog owner. I should be doing a lot more of my dogs and fulfilling them than what I do. But the thing is, to me, like, I don't do much because they're not an issue. They're pretty well managed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I find they're getting a little bit antsy, then I do a bit more of them.
Yeah, for sure.
I see the term. You're probably more up to date with technology than what I am. Not technology.
Honestly, I understand what Caitlin's saying, but I'm going to answer it a little bit beating around the bush. For me, active pets shouldn't really be used. Like, there are plenty of people breeding for working roles that have puppies that aren't suitable. That's what I would call an active pet, because it's probably got a little bit more in the tank than a pet. But I don't think people should be specifically breeding for a pet. For me, an active pet is a working dog that hasn't got what it needs to be in a working role. You're not going to have a full litter of 8 puppies that can do a working role. So for me, that's a dog that would need an active pet home. Yeah, I think that's the only way I can answer that.
So you haven't ever heard of a term active pet? So
I've seen breeders advertise, active pet, like active pet home needed or whatever. And I think that, for me, it's generally a dog with drive that's a little bit too much for a regular pet home that just wants a dog to lounge around and sleep all day with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Any tips on dog training when they're on a diet? Yeah, make them work for the food.
Yep.
Yeah, so instead of putting food in a bowl, make them work for the food. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else we can really add to that. Just make your dog work for the food and happy days.
Which theoretically they should be doing anyway.
Yeah. If you're not lazy like me.
Yeah.
It's so hard if you raw feed to make your dogs work with their food.
That honestly, Chris, there was a point where Gaddafi was eating like 2 kilos a day, and when I tell you I could not make this dog work for all of his food, it was honestly nearly impossible. Like, imagine hand feeding 2 kilos of food.
It'll be hard.
It was taking up so much time. It was crazy.
So let's have a look here. Rescues tend to use the term active pet home. Yeah, probably for these fucking crazy border collie kelpie things that are fucking nuts and should be on a farm and they're trying to place into suburbia.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Let's have a look here. My 1.5-year-old is sleepy in my puppy's new crate. Should I buy her one for herself? I'm like, yeah, buy her a crate for herself. That's what I'll be doing. If she likes a crate, sleeping in the crate.
Yeah.
Buy her a crate.
Yeah.
I think that's it. All right, we'll give it. Oh, it's almost 9. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. When it's 9 o'clock, we'll then.
Miguel, he makes me laugh.
What did he say? Should have just played tug of war promo. Yeah, actually, that would be sort of a bad idea.
Honestly, I'd lose fingers if I tried that.
Yeah, they're not in Fairfield anymore. They've moved now.
Where are they? Do you know?
I think they're out of the western suburbs.
Okay. I'm really mad. I keep entering their like winner year's supply of Prime 100, and I never win, so they're on my shit list.
So I'll stop following them. Like I tagged them all on my post once. They didn't reshare they didn't reshare the love, so they've gone down on my shit list now.
Oh, they reshare mine and Cass's though. The most random ones.
That's weird.
Oh, there you go, Sandy. Thank you.
Okay, let's have a look here. Any suggestions for engagement at the park? Yeah, food chasing. Make your food fun and lower your expectations. So take your dog there, have fun for about 2 minutes with some food, go home, go back there the next day. If you want to make it really seriously, you go there with your dog's food for the day. And if a dog doesn't engage, the dog doesn't get fed. You go back there the next day with a dog's meal again. Dog doesn't engage, dog doesn't get fed. The dog will learn pretty quickly that they need to engage. Would you agree?
Yeah. Portion A is using all of Chaos's food for training at this point. That's my answer to anything.
Let's
Yeah.
have a look. Yeah. That's because
Yeah.
What's she talking about?
About Prime 100. Chris, you really got to keep up with it. Okay. Sharing our posts.
Yeah. What is the coolest, hardest trick you've taught your dog? To be a good dog. It's the coolest and hardest trick to be well behaved. I think that's pretty cool, having a well-behaved dog. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Honestly, nothing makes me happier than when I'm walking down the street and my dog's doing a nice, attentive, loose leash walk, and I walk past someone whose dog's going nuts. I'm like, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, I think that's one way. For Storm, getting a drink out of a fridge was pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see. Yeah, we've got the fridge opening down pat, but I'm scared to get Gaddafi to bring me a drink because he'll bite down on it and shit will go everywhere. So I'm gonna have to like empty out a bottle or something.
Yeah. Teaching Coda to hold fucking took me a really long time. Took ages.
Tyler's the same. Actually, she's still to this day. Like I have to do a forced hold because she's not interested.
What are you doing, little ninjas? What are you doing?
Look how cute this one is. She's so snug.
Oh, she looks living the dream.
Yeah, she gets in the tightest balls. Very cute.
Favorite activities to free shape? No activities. Like for me, when I free shape, I don't really have any goals in mind. I just randomly free shape some shit. Chris, both you leave the house. Who gets crated? Who doesn't? Ninja gets crated. She's the only one that gets crated. But soon, now it's obviously all 3 dogs in the household. But eventually, after a while, my goal will be to have all of them loose again. But for now, Ninja gets crated. Also, can just move the house as well. And Ninja's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Got that. This is a good question. Most common behavior problems you see in dogs that's the easiest to fix and prevent. I guess easiest to fix and prevent are 2 different things. I I don't think any behavior problems are actually easy to fix. There's generally, once dogs have gotten into a set behavior pattern and you got issues, there's going to be quite a bit of work involved. But probably the most common one I would have to say would be leash reactivity.
Yeah, for sure, 100%, sure.
Yeah, if you just teach your dog how to walk on a loose lead nicely, 99% of the time you will prevent this issue. Yeah. And if you build good engagement, so yeah, leash reactivity is probably the most common. And if you just from the start had good engagement, good leash walking, it wouldn't really be a problem.
And I guess teaching the dog the expectation, like instead of pulling and barking at that other dog, that's not going to get you what you want. Sit nicely, and then when I tell you, you can go forward.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. What I said. I'll be putting it back in the fridge, and he works for it the next day.
Huh. You can do that. Yeah, but for me personally, like I've never done the whole raw feeding from hand. That's next level. I'd struggle.
I did it with like semi-defrosted bath patties once, and that lasted about 3 days, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Big Dog had these balls. Have you seen them? The Big Dog
I've
balls?
seen them. Yeah, they're at pet stock.
Yeah, you got that. How do you deal with entire males when Ninja is in heat? I beat him off with a stick. Like I don't do pet, like I don't go to parks where there's going to be other dogs and stuff like that. So these things are never a problem for me.
Well, I guess tying into Cass's question next, like, what do you do with Storm? You just keep them crated, or?
Oh, it's fucking chaos.
Yeah,
I just do what I can do to keep the house sane.
Yeah,
and keep them separated. There's nothing special. It's an absolute nightmare for just over 2 weeks. That's why we're looking at Ninja D6, and I'm no fucking closer to having an answer about whether I do a normal spay, whether I do an variant sparing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a complex about
it. Miguel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it depends on the male and the female as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So,
like my parents' D6 dog used to try and give Tyler a little loving when she was in heat, and he'd been D6 for ages. So yeah, I think it depends on the dog. And
especially when you got such a macho dog like Storm.
Oh, such a tough guy.
Yeah, and he's such a terry, you know what I mean? You can have that issue.
Yeah.
And that's that. So we'll wrap it up there. So thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you, Renee, for being the hostess and interviewing me.
Attempting to.
Yeah, we got to decide what we'll do next week. What did she say here? It's like
yeah, it's a good feeling, Michelle. It's like a little bit of my ego is just like sitting here, like snickering.
Let's have a look here. It goes hand in hand with. Actually, Matt, I'm still waiting for your twerking video. He was meant to give me. I gave him my Dremel. He was meant to send me a twerking video.
Dear. Maybe they've been busy.
Thanks, Vanessa. Our pleasure. Thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah, it's been good.
And then make sure you tune in. What have we got coming up this week? Coffee with Chris on Sunday. That's the only exciting thing.
Yeah. Guys, it's a Sunday morning doesn't mean you can't ask him questions. He felt a little bit unloved. You've really got to hit him with the good questions on a Sunday.
I think the questions tonight were actually pretty good, though. I was happy with tonight's questions.
Yeah, they were good fun. I like you guys.
Actually, we should get Marcus on.
Please.
It'll be good. Let's have a look. Yeah, Matt, Matt, what I want you to do is get a twerking lesson and then send me the final from that twerking lesson.
Oh, I just can't. I need to go scull this red wine and erase that thought from my memory.
Make sure you listen to some Guido Hatzis once we're finished.
Yeah, I'm going to go ask Dom if he knows who he is.
Yeah, you better know who it is.
I don't think he does. Otherwise, we would have discussed it before, I'm sure.
Potentially. You'll find out.
Well, I will.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Later, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Bye.